And next on the line here, we have Toast. What do you have for us?
What?
What do you have for
Show?
us, Toast?
I have another series. I have a sequel series to the to other ones that share the same name.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Hell
What?
yeah, dude.
Huh.
So there's Blue Lock, right?
Uh-huh.
And then
I
there's
knew where you were going.
Blue Lagoon, and there's Grand Blue, and then there's Grand Blue Fantasy.
There's Blue
Okay, the
Exorcist
group
too.
of fantasy.
Oh yeah, true. The Blue Exorcist.
Blue
Yeah.
Exorcist, thank you.
Yeah.
What else?
Daphne and the Azure.
Sorry, Perfect Blue. Remember that?
Yeah.
True.
Nadia and the Secret of Blue Water.
Yeah.
Blue Dragon, Blue Gender. I don't know. I can go on.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways.
Anyway, yeah.
So what blue series do you have, Toast?
Blue Period. Okay. So no, I'm sorry. Blue Box.
Yes.
And
Blue box.
I looked it up, and because it has to be called that for some reason, and apparently the Blue Box is the name of their gymnasium that they call it, which is weird.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it is Blue Box. This is manga original, I believe, right?
Yeah, sure.
Hmm. And it's Telecom Animation Film Studios. They've
Yes.
mainly done a lot of what is it, kind of background stuff, I think.
I don't know,
But
man. But what are you calling background? Are you calling the Lupin movies background? Tower of God, Nagatoro-san, Orange?
Are they leads on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then they also did PSO2, the animation. You know,
which one?
the isekai one.
Okay.
Futakoi. Oh, Mutsuki Kanban Musume. That's a what? They did the Death Row Inmate Baki season? Huh. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, look, they also did Blue Thermal, another blue. Tideline
yeah,
Blue.
more
Oh,
just
more
a
blues.
second blue
This is
series.
the Blue
The
Studio.
Blue Cinematic Universe.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
heard of Studio Orange. This is Studio Blue.
But yeah, continue. Spire, you were saying you wanted to no? Okay, I'll go. And yeah, there's only one episode out, and conveniently, it's on Netflix. But
Wow.
unless you have Japanese Netflix, they have episodes 1 and 2. But not us Kai Guy Nikis. No, we have to wait. Is it 4 days? The October 10th for season or episode 2, which is a shame because only one episode in this series is kind of interesting in a way. So you got the main dude. His name's Taiki Inomata, and
Mhm.
he's in love with his senpai at their illustrious Aimei Academy, which is like a sports integrated junior high slash high school with the major like a sports academic program. So he's in love with the ace of the women's basketball club, Shinatsu
S-
Shinatsu Kano, who is voiced
yeah,
by
yeah.
but
No, yeah, the star player of the women's basketball team over there, right?
is
Kano
voiced
Shinatsu.
by who's voiced by Ueda Reina. I don't know who that is.
Ueshawa, Ueshawa. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and I guess Taiki's voiced by Shoya Chiba, who
uh-huh.
is
Who does like a lot of like lighter, higher voice roles, if I remember correctly, right? More like kind of Genki.
he's the guy
Gen-
from
he does, I
Classroom of the Lead. He's the main
Yeah,
guy in
I know he
Classroom of the
also
Lead.
does like a
Uh,
lot of he does a lot of a 2D idol, male idol kind of roles as well, if I remember correctly.
he's the main character in Shoegaze. Aofuji Masaki. I don't know
Wow.
who that is, but
Yeah,
you should.
he has stuff in like Item Master Side and so on as well. So yeah.
Nah, he's in there. 86. Yeah. So yeah, and remember the question posed that why is a guy on the badminton team in love with uh the chick from the basketball team, even though they are different sports, but they want to go to nationals together. We talked about that during previews.
He's
No, you
just
forgot?
infatuated with someone who plays a real sport.
No, apparently his mother played on the women's basketball team,
All right, I mean that's a
which will
little
come up later.
Freudian,
Which
but
will come up
sure.
later, but apparently he plays badminton because he hates being a team player. He tried out for the basketball team
What?
once and he never passed. He likes being
Are
the
there?
center of
What is it? He
attention.
just never does doubles.
I guess not. He likes being the center of attention and whatever. And he says if he fails, only he fails. He doesn't let the team down. So I mean, that's the reason, right? I guess that's why he's on the badminton team.
I guess. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of like other sports you could pick up for that. But
I mean,
Yeah.
but
I don't know why.
sure. But badminton, sure. I
guess.
mean, go for it. But yeah, there's not much happening in the first episode. But yeah, he every day uh, he goes to practice early in the blue box, the Aono Hako, aka the gymnasium, because Chinatsu's there every morning practicing her basketball stuff, and he visits her because he likes her and whatnot. And in the first episode, we learned that Chinatsu's potentially going overseas because there's talks of his mom told her his mom told him that Shinatsu might be going overseas with her family, I guess, to study in American basketball. Maybe American basketball.
Study America, man.
I don't
Yeah,
What?
bro, she needs to
uh,
learn how to flop properly.
like. Do what other countries primarily focus on basketball? I wouldn't know. I assume American though, because they usually
I
go to
think
America for these
American
kind of things.
WNBA is
Yeah,
probably the most prominent at this point.
Yeah, it's the most prominent. Although recently American basketball has just been getting trounced on the world stage, but it's like the thing
All right, I mean,
what
listen
is
up.
funny.
We demolished in the Olympics, okay? Like, let's not.
Yeah,
It may have taken people
I
like, having LeBron James
yeah,
and
it may have been like Kevin Durant like literally just dragging like he's like carrying everybody on his like fucking wide ass bag, but
may have
the thing
taken like
is,
three legends to be on the same team
yeah,
to do it.
exactly. um, But what I wanted to say, the thing I found funny is not necessarily the prominence of American basketball. Of course it is, but the fact that the construction of this setup is, yeah, we're gonna go over to so my daughter can be with the American high school basketball teams or
Yeah,
something.
that's true. Yeah,
I
it's still
mean,
high school
I
season.
assume that because she's the ace of their.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. It's just it's pretty
It's
funny
always
as
like,
well.
yeah, and going overseas to train is a common thing that you do in sports, anime slash manga. So yeah, I guess.
Mhm.
But then he goes to her and he's all like, "Please don't leave," or whatever. And she's like, "Okay." And then he wakes up, and then suddenly she's living at his house, and that's literally the first episode. But do you know why the reason that she's living at his house?
Well,
It
Probably
actually,
because
this
her
all
is an
family
important
still left, right? Like,
Yeah,
I would assume that was
her
not.
family go her fam. I don't know why her family's going overseas. Like it never explained.
reason.
I thought it
They
was
were
for
going
like
there,
her.
yeah.
I thought it was for her basketball stuff, but apparently not. I don't know. Maybe.
It's like,
But
"Fuck you, we're out." It's like, "Okay."
I mean, it's just one episode, so it'll be explained later probably. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
because
okay.
I mentioned earlier that Taiki's mom, or did I mention earlier that Taiki's
Yeah.
mom was was part of the women's basketball team? Did I mention this earlier? I don't remember.
Yep.
But and
Okay.
it turns out that Shinatsu's mom and Taiki's mom were teammates on the same team, and because they're alumni at this school.
Okay.
So that's the reason why they're living together because their moms are friends. And she's like, "Hey, can my daughter stay with you guys because we're teammates?" to, I guess, train for nationals. That's the reason
Okay,
why they're living
then.
So
together.
wow, this might be the only normal occurrence of like this situation happening in a fucking anime.
Because, his mom's an alumni of this prestigious sports academy, and so I guess that's how he got into. But, he plays badminton, I guess.
Mhm.
So, sure. And that's literally the first episode. Yeah.
Okay, so can we go over, I guess, the well, let's go over like this, like what do you think about I want to say how the premise has been set up so far?
So far, in one episode, the story is all right, I guess.
Do you think it's going to
It's
so
kind of.
give yeah, where do you think so okay, let me phrase it so that we're not like necessarily doing the whole like stream of consciousness or anything like that. So where do you generally predict how you think the story is gonna pan out? Like your standard like if this was a very standard anime, you know these sorts of anime, like the girl and the guy are stuck together or whatever it is, right? And the guy's just like, I want to go higher because of X objective in like a sports series. So you know this sort of general standard setting, and if it was standard, where do you think it'll go? And uh B, like a spin-off of that question is where do you think it'll go if it was poorly directed or poorly written? Like a bad places it'll go. So
I
first
don't
off,
know
where
what
do
he
you think
just
it'll
said,
go?
so I'm gonna continue. Anyway, uh,
What I'm
so
saying is
far,
give your predictions on where the story might go and places where it shouldn't go,
judging
essentially.
from the overall vibe of this series, it's not a sports series. It's a romance series
It's pretty much
primarily.
romance,
Shocking.
yeah, with like a sports like
Because I
theme
didn't
layered
learn
on it.
I
Yeah.
didn't learn any cool badminton trivia or basketball trivia.
Uh-huh.
Just badminton's like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
yes. It's very much focused on the relationship between these two characters and then their sidekicks and whatnot. So it's definitely going to be more romance focused between like, oh, she wants to go to nationals because she has this unfulfilled dream. Because they mentioned in the first episode that the reason why he fell in love with her is because uh, after junior high, when she just barely skipped national, or she barely missed national, chance to qualify for nationals, she went she pulled a Shiro. It's a
Uh-huh.
reverse Shiro situation where what's his name? Taiki saw her in the gymnasium all alone practicing her free throws, and she was crying with a determined face, and she's like, "Damn." He was like, "Damn, I'm into that." Just like how Shiro was practicing the what is it? Was it the high jump or the long jump? High jump, right?
Yeah.
And then both Sakura and Ren were like, "Damn, I'm into that." So I guess he fell in love with her at first sight with her determination and whatnot. So
Uh-huh.
that's cool. I don't know. Yeah, feels like a romance series.
Mhm. Are you do you, are you okay with continuing to watch it despite that? Do you think it's okay of watch at least for you? I'm not
To
necessarily
get
talking
to
about
get into that, I have to explain like the characters because I believe the characters are pretty well written. I mean, Chinatsu is by far the best character in this series. By a lot, she's her personality is pretty cool. She's strong-willed and whatnot. Um, Taiki's kind of a is it kind of the bumbly. He's kind of the bumbly in love, happy-go-lucky kind of guy, main character, where he still struggles to talk to her, and he's just like, "Oh, Shinatsu Senpai, I want to marry you or whatever," but like he's never gonna say that out loud, but and whatnot. He's definitely not
is
the cool
there
type. He's the bumbly protagonist type of guy to the the cool older senpai who is Chinatsu because he calls her senpai. So I guess she's the older
Uh-huh.
one.
Have
Um,
you seen any hints of potential love triangles forming, either in terms of like here looking at stuff, seeing stuff on the internet that's like about the manga or whatnot, or stuff that's implied and foreshadowing? Do you see any sort of love triangles forming?
the only love triangle I might see is he has a childhood friend who's a girl who's on the gymnastics team, whose name is
Oh
like
my god!
Hina.
Oh my god! Yeah,
Her
yeah,
she's
Yeah,
vo-
yeah, that
she's
was the
voiced
one from
by
the cover.
the
Yeah.
pink one, which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
oddly enough, I think she was in more of the opening than act than actually Chinatsu,
Oh,
which is kind of a red flag to me.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she's voiced. But what's her name? Hina is voiced by Akari Kito. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, some random person.
Some chick. I think you might know her from.
The Slayer of Demons.
Is she there? I don't
Yeah,
know.
Akane
I
Kito's
know.
literally like
I know she's Tsukasa from Tonikaku. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Akane Kito's biggest role right now is Nezuko in Demon Slayer.
Who's Nezuko? Oh, the sister. Right.
Just
Okay.
yeah.
I was like, sure. But yeah, she. It's kind of the way she teases him, and she's known him since childhood. It's kind of obvious she's interested in him in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I guess the other male friend who's on the same badminton team as him,
Mhm.
Kyo, is voiced by Chiaki Kobayashi, who uh who apparently is voicing Saito in the the other Blue series this season. Is it Blue Wolves? Aono Miburo?
Yeah,
The
I don't know if you
the
bro.
Wolves of Mibu? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
In terms of just
he's a
the
serious
yeah.
type. But yeah, overall, I don't know. The personalities are written well, as say they're not overly dramatic or whatever.
Okay.
So
Uh,
um, not
in
much to
terms
go on.
of just the audio visuals, can you go over that real quick?
Uh, Well, for what it is, the audio visuals are really really good.
Oh, okay.
It's very good. I guess lighting. I just want to say very good lighting and shading throughout the series. Probably it's probably the best looking series that Telecom Animation has done. I did not watch Tower of God, so I can't really say anything about that.
Hmm.
Wasn't
But
great.
over but overall, of the series that I see on this list, it definitely looks better than PSO2. Definitely looks better than Nagatoro-san, and definitely looks better than Orange,
Mhm.
Blue and Orange. But yeah, I want to say the way they move, like when Shinatsu does her jump shots, it's very well animated. Like I
Okay.
want to
So
say
they're kind of
almost
focusing
to
a
the
lot on
point
that, which
of
is good, at least.
I want to say almost to the point of rotoscoping, but very good movements. It's not choppy at all. Very
Oh,
human
okay.
like. I wonder if
Is
they
it
did it
blended?
using.
What is it? Is it like pure 2D? What's going on there?
It looks to pure 2D. There's no. I want to say the obvious CG is one with the basketball net. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, which is okay. Yeah.
Basketball net and the shuttlecock and the background characters
Uh-huh.
when they're in the big gymnasium when they're all practicing together. You see like the gymnastics team over there, the basketball team over there, badminton team over there. I guess maybe I think it was soccer.
Hmm.
You could tell those are 3D CG, but they all move pretty decently. You know, they're not stiff and whatnot. So props to
Right,
that.
right.
There's also some fun camera angles where there's a POV of is it Taiki running uh, back to the gymnasium to see Chinatsu because right after he heard that she might be moving overseas, and it's a POV, and you see and pretty good looking POV where you see the blur lines and the buildings and whatnot. You know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Zooming down the not the hallway, the road, I guess. There's a lot of fun camera angles to pan out. There was one where they did a citywide view, and you see the
Oh, okay.
cars that were also CG, but you know they're cars, so whatever. Yeah, overall, I mean, looks pretty good. Very good looking series. Very good
Mhm.
lighting. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. There's some fun
Mhm.
shots of Chinatsu that people really like to post on Twitter. It's like, oh, this series looks really, really good. I'm like, yeah, it does.
Should have gone to Blue Lock. Should have the money. Should have gone to Blue Lock.
I mean,
But yeah,
they won't be wrong. So yeah, very good
okay.
audio and visual. The opening is it same blue or Same blue? I don't know.
I think it's Same Blue. I think it's Same Blue by Higedan, right?
Hikidan Dizo, which and I looked it up because the opening looked very suspicious to me. And the opening is done by Wit Studio.
Yep, the opening only is done by Wit Studio. Yes.
And that bothered me because I was like, why does this opening look so good? Is this the same studio? But no, apparently it's not.
Yeah.
It's Wit Studio.
Probably with Studio taking on some jobs to get probably money on the side because obviously they haven't necessarily been in the best financial conditions recently. But yeah, they took on some OP work and it looks good. I saw the OP myself.
I want to say it looks suspicious because when I watched the series and I saw the opening, I was like, this opening looks slightly better than the actual series through the lighting.
Hmm.
But maybe that's where they got their ideas from.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they saw the opening. I'm like, damn, we can probably do that. And they amped it up. So it's
Nice.
comparable, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Except, yeah. So they did a good job on that. Then
Hmm.
the ending is Teenage Blue by Eve. What's with all the blues?
Yeah. How's the ending?
So it was good. I want to say the opening is much better.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is like obviously I'm not gonna disparage the ending or anything like that, but Shigedan is Shigedan for a reason, right? So it's very hard to very hard to cross that hurdle. You know what I mean? So
I might even say it's top three openings this season.
probably. I mean, again, it's like
Probably.
pretty good.
It, the other two are obvious like
Yeah.
obvious. You got creepy nuts being creepy nuts over there. Then you got the
Hmm.
Rama opening. It's like damn. But you
Hmm.
know, pleasant surprise that this one's probably going to be up there. I want to say I'll put it on third. Sure.
Okay. I
Uh,
guess overall, what would you
Overall,
give this? I know again, it's not like it's just one episode, but
act-
if you had to give it an initial score, let's call it an initial score. Let's not be like, oh, it's full review score. An initial score.
initial score, it's pretty good. Like I
Okay.
said, pretty. It's not super out there. It's pretty down to earth. Uh, Down to earth character interactions and whatnot. Lots of shots of Chinatsu that people will like to see because you know she's the main focus, and she outshines everyone else in this series, which is a good thing. It
Hmm.
has a lot of potential, is what I've got to say. But one episode in, for one episode, yeah, it has a lot of potential. So I have high hopes for this series. It looks
Okay.
good. It's pretty. Story's pretty good. Characters are pretty good. Um, Overall, I'm gonna give it a high. I'll give it a high 8.5 out of 10
Yeah. Okay. Pretty
because
good.
if I want to say if 7 is average, this is a high 8.5 right out the gate.
Okay.
I mean, I can definitely
Um,
see this getting better as the series goes on.
yeah, 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 yeah. A lot of it does depend on development, but there are definitely highs that it can go to, as well as potentially lower lows. But
The only real
yeah,
downside I see is badminton actually a sport?
yeah, it's bad with that. Some people would say no, but you know,
I mean, well, let me rephrase that. That's kind of unfair.
Mhm.
Is badminton as much of an illustrious sport as women's basketball in, I guess, Japan?
It's probably gonna be honestly the source of some of like the potential love triangle or like maybe rivals to the main character, right? Because it's like, oh, I'm doing badminton, but then there's a men's basketball star that's coming up or whatever, or like there's like some American blonde haired pretty boy that comes in the later chapters or something like that, right? So that might be a thing. But
I mean, I'm looking at the character list, and the only other dude that might pose a threat is also on the badminton team. So I'm like, okay, never mind.
badminton rivals, yeah, yeah. But
So
anyways,
yeah, I guess that might be a major point in the series. Like, oh, well, because I should have mentioned, but apparently Taiki sucks at badminton. He's not an ace at all.
what the
He's second stringer where he gets knocked out in the first round or whatever. So he
uh
sucks at badminton. I don't know why he picked
Okay.
badminton, other than I want to play alone. But he's got to work hard to get to nationals to be on the same level as her, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
each his own. It's fine. I can accept it because the story is pretty good from the from the
Yeah.
dregs that I've seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, high 8.5. I definitely recommend this series because it's definitely going to be talked about.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Thank you very much, Toast. Again, the Toast series was Ao no Hako, also known as Blue Box. This is, I think, manga original. Got adapted by a Talcon animation film with an OP by with studio, as well as the OP is sung by Higedan. So even if you're not necessarily going to immediately go and watch the series, at least check the opening out. Uh, Overall seems like a pretty smooth series right now. So initial pretty high score from Toast. So thank you very much,
It's a
Toast.
shame. I will say it's a shame that this is the only one that was available to me. It's
Yeah, if you could have given it
for
maybe a
the
more of a
I
review
I
in
would
to
have
later
I would
episodes.
have
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
given it more time, but it was the only one that
yeah.
I wanted to watch that was out at this time. So unfortunate,
Okay,
but
yeah,
good, but pretty good if it's this good from one episode.
yeah.